Tony D'Angelo would be successful tonight in the triple threat match, the final battle for the family. And it looks like it could be the final battle, and what a battle it was. A great triple threat match tonight. The ending was spectacular. Stats goes through the wall, comes back through the wall. Brilliant meme-worthy stuff. Reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, to be honest. Something none of us wants to see. Yes, Luca Crusifino went through the table, but look at Vic Joseph's candy! Poor Candy, damn it! I need to know just how much candy gets wasted on NXT. I mean, 5-second rule surely doesn't apply, does it, Vic? The big thing, though, as the match was over, as the Don walked away, he left his hat there. So is he no longer the Don? How can you be a Don without a family? Let the speculation commence in the comment section down below. Is Tony D'Angelo going to go a different route now with his character? Is he going to recruit new members to a new D'Angelo family? Or potentially get called up? But again, if he gets called up, does the character significantly change because he doesn't have a family anymore? I know a lot of people wanted to see this at the Great American Bash, and actually I'm kind of pleased they didn't. Obviously, All In was on at the same time. That gets a lot of fanfare. Why would you put on something this significant at the same time? We've just seen it on Tuesday. Perfect. This is things you might have missed from WWE NXT. Make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. So the 6-man tag match will be the first match of the night, and in typical WWE fashion, we all know it, don't we? Can they coexist? As the TNA World Champion Trick Williams teamed with his opponents at Slammiversary, Mike Santana and Joe Hendry, to take on Darkstate. Well, the answer to the question was no. Brief problems led to Joe Hendry and Santana knocking down Trick Williams. Very much unexpected, the System, a faction from TNA, would then arrive, seemingly counted down by Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. A setup for Darkstate. Not that random when you consider that Darkstate has been showing up on TNA and taking out TNA stars like Matt Cardona. And TNA obviously wants their world championship back, so TNA stars uniting against NXT stars makes perfect sense. This should totally be a Worlds Collide event, by the way. Something very interesting, though, developed on NXT tonight for Trick Williams. As he went backstage later in the show, he would be confronted, or kind of confront, Team Undertaker from LFG. They said it, he confirmed it on social media. The Undertaker is coming to Houston next week. Undertaker is on NXT. Cannot wait to see that. After a bit of face-to-face, Trick Williams would say you want to ask The Undertaker if it's a good idea to step up to Trick Williams, and then very shortly after, The Undertaker phoned. Surely Undertaker's got something planned here, right? So something next week, I think, is very likely. One thing that made me giggle was they had the American Badass song from Kid Rock, obviously The Undertaker's old theme song, on the phone for the ringtone. And they cut it off just before the non-PG line of, or you can suck my you-know-what. There was only like 3 words in it, though. Could you imagine if he hadn't actually answered the call? If he, like, his finger slipped or something and that actually went out on live TV? Oh my God, could you imagine? He'd be fired in a heartbeat, wouldn't he? We also found out next week, Jasper Troy will take on Ricky Saints in Houston, obviously after what happened at the Great American Bash, with Jasper Troy getting kind of involved in that match for the North American Championship. More for next week. It is also going to be the in-ring debut, singles debut at least, of Blake Monroe for NXT. This came as an invitation to a very angry Jordynne Grace tonight, who after arriving at NXT wasted no time coming to the ring, stopping a women's match taking place as Callie Armstrong took on Karmen Petrovic. The small part of the match we saw actually was really good. I know a lot of people will be upset. My comment section most weeks includes, where is Karmen Petrovic? Well, at least she got a little bit of time this week. But yeah, Jordynne was pissed. She got cost the NXT Women's Championship at Evolution. Of course, Blake Monroe bringing up some breaking news, telling the world that she doesn't think Jordynne Grace could carry her shoes, let alone the NXT Women's Championship. From the bathtub as well, to add a little bit more salt to that wound. You know Jordynne Grace is going to show up in Houston next week, don't you? She was so pissed tonight, she laid out everyone, including Stevie and Robert Stone. So after the world title match at the Great American Bash, Josh Briggs would come to the ring solo tonight, and he wasn't jealous, apparently, but he was very upset that Inamura has got a shot at the NXT World Championship before him. He claims he's been in NXT for 4 years, putting on some of the best NXT matches, and he's always been overlooked. Obafemi would come out and say that Josh Briggs doesn't deserve anything, followed by Inamura, who said, "I can talk for myself." That if he wins the World Championship, he wants to do it with honour. And of course, Josh Briggs laying down the challenge for next week in Houston, an NXT title match, triple threat rules. That could be very interesting. A brawl after the challenge would pretty much signify it's going to happen. And yes, the friendship is definitely shattered between Briggs and Inamura. But okay, serious question time. A triple threat match means the rules state the champion doesn't have to be pinned to lose his championship. Can we see Obafemi lose the belt next week and not be pinned? And if so, who takes it, Inamura or Josh Briggs? A really nice video package tonight from Ethan Page. Honestly, I need more of this. He is so freaking good. After his historic win at the Great American Bash, Ethan Page feels like he needs a celebration. It won't be tonight, obviously. It's going to be next week in Houston, just like everything else tonight on NXT. Question time again, though. Who steps up to Ethan Page? We know Ricky Saints is busy next week. He's going to be facing Jasper Troy, as we mentioned. So whom could it be? There's going to be someone that crashes the celebration, isn't there? I don't know who it is, though. Fresh from a victory at Evolution, Jacy Jayne with Fatal Influence would kick off this week's NXT. And while her voice may have still been a bit croaky after Jordynne hit her in the throat, there was a little bit of a shade thrown at Jasmine Nick, so potentially issues within Fatal Influence. Also some issues as TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich arrived and her microphone seemingly didn't work. Very confusing as well, because at home we could hear it perfectly, but seemingly in the arena the microphone wasn't being projected at all. Great recovery though from Masha, and applause to Fallon Henley, because Fallon Henley stepped forward as a heel to give a babyface the microphone, and she done it in a very cool way that didn't take away from what we was actually hearing here. This was obviously to build the match between Masha and Jacy at Slammiversary Sunday. So Luca and Zarya would come out, and of course the battle lines were drawn, and we start off NXT with one of my favourite things, a brawl. Love to see it. That would build to our main event, a 6-woman tag team match in which Masha Slamovich pinned Jacy Jayne. Will this be the scene on Sunday, just with Masha having an extra championship? All this though builds to the big TNA Slammiversary title versus title match. This is going to be so interesting. Who is going to win, Jacy or Masha? They're going to hold both the TNA Knockouts and NXT Women's Championship. Whoever it is that wins on Sunday night, well, we know they're going to show up first on NXT next Tuesday. Superstars are already lining up to be next in line. Who is it? I actually have no idea. But I will certainly be watching Slammiversary on Sunday night because I want to find out. And the card is looking low-key like a banger, to be fair. Got to note in the main event tonight, the culling would come out, and of course Hank and Tank would come out to even the numbers. So and Zarya would go backstage fighting with the culling. Now, interesting, could we get an 8-person tag out of this? I'd be down for that. Also, absolutely no idea what's going on with Lexus King. This is like the second week in a row we've seen him doing random stuff, so interesting to see where that goes. This was an okay show. It was a 7 out of 10. Definitely felt like a go-home NXT for next week's episode that seemingly is absolutely stacked. So we'll see how that is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video, share the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace!